this border here is actually facing north, which means it's cool, and we've got some shade. We've got shade from the greenhouse, and we've got shade from the actual building. We are on a rooftop, and we are gardening in a very odd space. So some top tips at home, if you've got that shady spot, is growing mint. Strangely enough, although this is Moroccan mint, it actually likes the shade and the water. And parsley does really well here, and we've already, well, it looks like it's had a bad haircut, a bad number 2 last week, but chives as well. And these are all cool herbs. You'll see some of the hot herbs later. And we've got over here our soft fruit collection. So we've got black currants, white currants, red currants, and tayberry, which is a climbing plant with huge great raspberry-like fruit on it, which must be my favourite. And it's the time of year for the plums. And Seneca must be my favourite plum because they're about that big. Hi, Julie here again. The top tip this morning has got to be about growing in paper. This is newspaper that's rolled up and makes a little pot. So I filled it with a bit of nice compost and I put a little lettuce in it. They've just been done, but 3-4 weeks time they'll be planted outside. Another few more weeks from that we'll be eating these. So don't need plastic pots. Newspaper is the way forward, and they rot down in the soil. Today is potato day.
Okay.
And these are the fastest potatoes I can buy, and they grow in 10 weeks. So that means by the second week in June, we'll be picking new potatoes.
Okay, and they're called Rocket, are they? Is that the variety?
Yeah, you know they're going to go fast. They're called Rocket, don't you?
You absolutely do.
Yeah.
And what are we doing with them?
They're going to be spaced out. I'm going to put them really close together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to repeat on the other side. The 4 again. So we've got 8 potatoes in each of our square metre bed, and I'm going to plant them. So, ooh, there you go. Gosh.
And why do we put them close together?
Just so I get a higher yield in a smaller area.
So really making the most of your
I'm
space.
making every square inch count.
Which is very important up on the roof.
Or I should say centimetre.
Let's be metric. Okay, great.
And
now
I'm
what?
going to go really deep.
Okay.
The shoot that I've lovingly grown for 2 months is going to go right into the bottom of a hole that's about 15 centimetres deep. And then I'm going to cover it up.
Okay.
And that's it. Goodbye potato for 3 weeks.
There
And then
you
it'll
go.
be all green on the top again.
And we think it'll be ready around
Middle
about
of June, ready to eat.
mid-June.
Yeah. And then there'll be another crop after that, which will be beets. Here's another repurposing experiment here. These are all bread crates. Yes, they're getting a bit tatty now, but line them with plastic, fill them with some nice compost. We've had the best crops of beans I've ever seen in my life here. We've got some lovely French garlic at the moment, which will be harvested in the next few months. And then I'll probably fill these again with beans for the summer. But gosh, how much is there? 10 centimetres? You can grow a huge amount in 10 centimetres. Total cost? Very little. On the side here, it's really hot and dry, and so I thought, work with what you've got rather than against it. So lots of herbs that like those Mediterranean conditions. So rosemary flowers early for early pollinators. We've got sweet marjoram, which I think is one of my favourite herbs of all time. We've got sage, And then we've got thyme, which I actually grew from seed. So it's all either grown for cuttings or it's plants that we split here. But if I don't water these for a week, they'll still be alive. And that's good. And who doesn't like herbs in their food? Thank you so much for coming along today. We really appreciate every single one of you who's been part of our virtual open garden party. We hope you've got a lot out of it. I certainly love working here. This is a place of hope and health, and we hope that that's going to continue with your support.
The idea behind our garden sponsorship program is that companies can sponsor a vegetable patch. We have several different options available. We have a fruit tree sponsorship, a small vegetable patch at the front, a large vegetable patch where we're growing things like the potatoes and carrots, or the greenhouse, which, as Julie described earlier for us, is really the hub and the intensive care unit of the entire garden, where all of the small nursery plants are raised. We still have the greenhouse sponsorship available and a number of small and large vegetable patches as well. So if you are interested at all in finding out how your organisation can support Providence Row, please do get in touch with me after the event, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you about opportunities.
A massive thank you to everybody who's supported and sponsored a bed. It's really going to make a difference to keep the garden going, to help train more people, to help feed more people with healthy produce. There's still loads of beds that are up for grabs, so please sponsor a bed. It really does make a difference.